very, very good afternoon, everyone. Merry Christmas from the SimScott himself. Hope everyone had a lovely, lovely break. It's been a relaxing time in the world of SimScott. Been back home, seen some family, which was lovely. And now we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and seeing if we can try out another study level aircraft after our last longitude flight. We're looking at the Regional Jet 100, RJ100 from Justflight. It should be a interesting little flight. We're at London City Airport at the moment. We are hiding. There is our lovely, lovely airplane. So we're going to go from London City. We're going to fly up to Glasgow in Scotland. Get a bit of air traffic control once we're up in the air. It'll be a bit quieter down here, but that's fine. What we're going to do, I've got the manual, or the sort of the guide, I guess, from Justflight open. I'm going to walk you through setting up this aircraft from cold and dark. We'll get GSX to load it up. We will do the flight plan manually, and hopefully fly it without crashing and see what happens. So if you're new to the channel, you are super welcome, and thank you for joining us on this lovely but foggy Sunday down in London. And it's breaking a little bit at London City here. This is the flight model. Doesn't come with any of the walk around things that you have with the rest of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but that's okay. I don't want to be taking things off the pitot heat and things like that. And I don't think it'll even let us jump in with it because it's there. So to get in, Shift C. And here we are, outside the airplane. Here we are, inside the airplane. So this is really quite good in terms of its modelling. It does have a full cabin, which we can show you here, and GSX integration as well, so we'll get people coming on there. There's an iPad here which we'll show you how to use as well. This is a little bit more old school if you're used to flying things like Airbuses. There's a lot of switches. We'll talk you through what's going on and why. Point out the kind of aircraft to bring into a VATSIM event if you're unsure what you're doing, which we very much are. So if we get overwhelmed, if we go anywhere where we're a bit nervous, we will jump off VATSIM. But we are fully online at the moment, so we'll get everything set up and start to do the checklist. If you want to do this yourself, I'll talk you through the flight plan. There is quite a handy thing here. So if you go into aircraft, you'll come in here. You've got the flight performance, you've got aircraft information, but in here you've got checklists, and this is, I'm not going to use them all the way through today. In fact, I'll probably not use a lot, but it will show you exactly where things are if you want to check them, and you can check them off as you go through, which is really handy if you want to try and do this from scratch. I'm going to use the manual that came with this in a PDF, and hopefully that will give you a bit more of a overview of what we're trying to do and get you up in there quicker than using the internal checklist. We got the usual things here in terms of our flight sim realistic. We're using real turb as well. It is windy up in Glasgow, so we'll see how this all pans out and just whether we make it or not. So per the checklist, the first thing to do is put our center console weather radar, which is here, to standby, and put the tilt up to 15 degrees. This is in the manual that comes with the airplane itself. So then confirm that the air brake is in and the flaps are up, which they are here. Set the nav light switches to on, which are up the top here, on. And basically, I think that's to do that when you put electric power through this airplane, it will demonstrate that there's someone on board rather than nobody there. So we now go to the electrical systems, which are, and this is the thing, the bit that I get confused with here is there's so many switches when we do this, so bear with if I make some mistakes, but we're right. Set BAT1 and BAT2 switches to on. A solid start, SimScotters, a solid start. You can check if they are discharging by moving that switch and that switch. You can see the that is showing that it's discharging. That's the voltage. Lovely. This is available in Microsoft 2020. and then it was updated for 2024. So pretty cool, and something that we'll just have a little play with today as we go along. On the center console, confirm that the brake selector is set to yellow and the parking brake. So down here, on to park yellow, that is on because that is off, so that'll be on, and you can put that to yellow, or you can put it to norm. I don't think it really matters. I keep it in norm. I've done that before. Hasn't, done anything bad. Going back up to the top again. So you've then got your avionics. So we need to turn all of these on. So yaw damp, autopilot, master. It doesn't matter. FGC select you can do as 1 or 2. And basically what it asks you to do, and it's same with the ground ignition, you can put them either way. It's meant to be opposite days of the week, and that helps reduce the wear in the aircraft. But we are in a simulator and do not need to worry about that. So we'll put it on both. Move down to the anti-skid and lift spoiler panels, which is here, and switch on the anti-skid, which is here. On. Just remember with some of these switches, they sort of have a middle bit, which is kind of weird. So you have to click away to go on. It will go back to the middle, and then it can, when on some of them, even be clicked down the way. So they sort of rock. They're like rocker switches. On scanned and the yellow green are on. What I'll do while we're doing all this, it's important to remember where you are as well when you do this, guys. In here we have got GSX handling ticked. We come back here and we go to OFP, enter your SimBrief pilot ID. Oh, interesting. That should be my ID. Let's just have a little look. Flight plan. No, I think it's missed off the 185, hasn't it? No, it's there. Technical difficulties. Is it my ID it needs? Let's see. Pilot ID. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is annoying. Oh! How do I... There we go. Okay, cool. That was easier. Just not sure what I pressed everywhere while I put that number in, but we'll see. So that loads up in the iPad. Going from London City to eGPF, get the METARs, and you also get your flight plan, which is pretty cool. What you can also do then is, if we go into the aircraft, let's say import SimBrief OFP payload, import it, and that'll bring in, and what that will do then is start to use GSX for boarding. We'll start refueling, which is 10 minutes as well. I think you can use GSX to refuel, but I'm not going to do that. So see, GSX springs into life. I'll get everyone on board that way. So, while that's all happening in the background, we did the anti-skid, yellow and green. Come back up here. Both engine generators, General 1 and are off, which is here, and set the APU generator to on, which is like that. I don't want to do the pushback to it more. Switch on the APU gen, switch in preparation for the APU start. So that was this one here. That's been turned on. We're not going to do the fire protection test, just because we're trying to get you guys up in there as quickly as possible. Going to use the APU power to start the engine today. So we need to put the left inner on. That's the fuel pump. And then on the APU, start the APU by moving it start switch to on, which is here. So master switch to start, which is here. See that starts to jump into life. It's interesting how it's doing that. We should hear the APU starting up over the din of GSX, but definitely is starting. Oh, here come the passengers as well. You see APU power is available, and so what we want to do is set the APU switch to on, which is there, and set one of these packs to on as well. That gets air conditioning into the flight deck and into the cabin. Oh. So payload's coming on. Then we have to align our IRSs, which are over here. You align and align. That all works. Then we come down to our FMC. So we do that, position in it, select EGLC, pick that up automatically, stick in the IRS position, then we go to route. So we're going, this is where it's helpful to have this open. I can drag it across here. So we're going from Alpha Golf Lima Charlie, and we're going up to Glasgow, Echo Golf, Papa, Buckshot. Flight number, going to be Speedbird 185. Runway, we could put it in here as well, 27. We won't activate just yet, so departure, arrival, departure, runway 27, and it's the Brooklyn Park 1 Alpha, which is this one. And then arrival, we're going runway 23, which is here, and it's the Ribble 1 Golf, which is here. We won't do any transitions because we've got air traffic control, so they should be able to help us with that. That's cool. Next page. So you can see that flight plan's pretty simple. Brooklyn Park's to Brooklyn Park, and it wants us to go direct to Ribble, but what we're actually going to do is put in a airway. And that'll take us to Ribble, which is easy. Ribble on Golf, activate, execute, and we will do the performance in it at some stage so we can clear that. So that's that sorted for the moment. We will do the performance in it in a wee bit once we've got everyone on board. Lovely. We then turn on the EFIS, which is here and here. Then go back to the first officer site. Oh, hello, that's just going out. Hello. He's got a massive tattoo on his head. Hello. Come over here, move these to nav and nav, and that will start to align everything as we need it. And then we can turn to the overhead panel, up to light, so cabin emergency, set to arm. Won't do any other ground tests while we're here, and that's all good. Select the 4 engine anti-ices to on, which is here. No, come on. Arm the flight deck emergency lights on there. And we can set the landing altitude as well. So we are heading into Glasgow, which has an altitude of 26 feet, which is that number there, which I'm sort of tilting my head to see. Which we can just put landing altitude 0. So you use this little little knob here, and then twiddle it, and then you get to, you can change it to minus, do plus, but we'll keep it at 0. So that's the landing altitude all inserted. You can also test TCAS while we're here. Down here is your TCAS. It's got 2000. We hit test. You'll see that it's testing up here.
TCAS test. Pass.
Well, it's passed. Excellent news. Cool. And then we'll just wait for everyone to get on board before we get ready to set off. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, it's that weird time between Christmas and New Year. QNH is 1030 here, so ooh, can I use this? 1030. It's quite high pressure, which is why it's been so foggy in London. Because high pressure means less wind, which means fog forms, and therefore you really don't get to shift any of the low cloud that's happening. Anyway, got some views, got some people. Hello everyone. You look hungover or hugging yourself. It's not going to be that bad, my friend. We're all going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Boarding is complete.
Boarding is complete.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
So refueling is still happening at the moment. But you see that doors are shut. Could be quite a nice evening flight, this. Obviously, pretty cold in the UK at the moment. On a departure, just so we're aware and briefed in case anyone needs to correct me as we go out, we're going to go up to about 3,000 feet on the departure. And then we'll hang around there for a little bit as we clear London's airspace. We're going to go up towards Brooklands Park, and then we'll climb out from there up to 24,000 feet, I think is our final altitude that we are trying to get there. Let's see if we can just see that quickly. So if we go to some brief dispatch, I think actually I've filed, so this wanted me to go up to 30,000 feet. I've actually filed 24, and that is just because to get any higher in this little airplane takes a little bit longer than I'd like. So last bit of fuel going on board, and so don't forget guys that we haven't done our performance in it just yet, but cruise altitude we're going up to 24,000. Cruise wind will be slightly different I think to what this shows, but we'll use it anyway because we're going slightly lower than what we anticipated. 282 at 45. Highest deviation is -4. Zero fuel weight. Oh, actually, sorry, reserves. Let's do those quickly while we do the zero fuel weight afterwards. So, reserves are 1.6, which is this number up the top here. 1.6. And then zero fuel weight you can get from your iPad, but we'll just wait for refueling to finish and then we'll grab it. Lovely. So this is such a cool little aircraft. Like, it's good for hopping around. I'm going to turn that on. We'll talk about this when we're up in the air, but it's a bit old school in terms of the iOS and capturing what it needs. Doesn't look too bad out there. You can see in the distance, a bit of fog. Buildings look a little bit concealed. But it seems pretty relaxed at the moment. And there's no air traffic control down here, so we can take our time. We will have air traffic control once we get into Scotland and through the north of England, so that'll be pretty cool. It's a load of people flying. Oh, there must be someone else streaming, because there's a load of people going from Dublin to Barcelona. Oh, the fame, guys, the fame. Anyway, hopefully this is a useful little tutorial. It's kind of what it's billed as, is that if you can follow this and get up in the air, then you're probably doing better than I did when I was a new person to flight simming. Anyway, zero fuel weight, 36,507. So if we come down here, it's 36.5. Do that. Execute that. Lovely jubbly. So that's all sorted and happy with that. Transition altitude we'll put at 7,500, which is fine. We've already put in our altimeter as 1030. So, passenger boarding is complete. We worked through the before start checklist. So, just confirm all switches on hydraulics are off. Ice detection, it's got this little master or little safety switch over it, switched on. Arm the cabin emergency and no smoking signs, which I think we've already done. No, we haven't. Ooh, hello. That's arm and arm, which is this middle bit here. So no smokings. No, not that anyone should be smoking, guys, but That's all done. We can confirm just that we've got the right fuel on board, which is important. 2370, 2370. We're expecting block fuel of about 4700, and that sort of matches off, doesn't it? 740. Yeah. Even my little mouse can do that. So now we have to go over to the thrust rating panel, which, for all those who don't know what a thrust rating panel is, that's this little thing over here. And these are the categories that you can have. So you can, if you want to, you can do Toga Max, or you can do like almost a D-rated takeoff. Because we're at London City, not a massive runway. Probably going to actually use flaps 18. We could do 24. Why don't we do that? So what that does, so if I click on that 126, it should, yeah, so it's got the IS-130, which is my V2 speed, so that'll let us climb out at a steeper rate, or not a steeper rate, sorry, shorter takeoff run, slower climb. You can check that by, again, twiddling this knob, so you can see the 126 will change if I click this, 136, 140, and then 186 is I sort of, I think it's the V climb speed, so the 186 is what we need to get out there. Yeah, VFTO. So that's all been set, and then we can start the engine soon, guys, so we'll do that. Let's just make sure we've done that. 340. I also just want to match, we're taking off from runway 270. Let's just match that up here. And we'll also turn on our flight directors. I just want to check, we're still aligning the IRS at the moment, so we won't move. That will cause too much excitement, guys. I'm going to copy this down here again, see if that does anything. But give it a second. Anyway. Lovely. So I know this is aligned when, so I'll jump into life in a second. He says, hopefully. TCAS, we can put to, actually I'll keep it on standby at the moment. But I do want traffic to be all Squawk 2000, which is fine. FMC, I want progress in here. And just stick some weather in here, put it to 10 degrees, and we'll also take off our shocks. So you can see that IRS is now aligned, so this is our departure going out. You want to zoom in and zoom out, it is slightly complex, but the range is down here. So see if we twiddle that, get a bit further out. If you want the range, this is your TCAS here, and at the moment it says there's a little 6 there. If you want to increase that, come down to TCAS, and you can see the range here. If I move it to 12, it then becomes 12. Lovely. Ah, this aircraft is easy, guys. Wait until we get out of here. There. Let's close the cockpit door and just get a bit of privacy. Hello, everyone. So that just quietens everything down a little bit, which is nice. Come down here and you can lock the door, which is fine. Switch on the beacon lights, they're up here. And then we switch the, come down here, packs to off. And APU also comes off. So we're not going to do any pushback. We need to put on the ice protection, all for anti-engine, which is here. These are all on, and we turn on our fuel pumps. That's us pretty much ready to start the engine. So to start the engine to this, it's a bit of a, I can say it's a faff, right? But it's not a massive faff. Start power, set to norm. Oh, that's over here, sorry. So you can see you can do external, you can do cold. In the middle is norm, which is where we are. Select the master switch to on. And then we start basically in top to bottom, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you do start, get that lovely little noise. And then what you're looking for is for N2 to get past 10%, and then you click on these buttons, like so, and that introduces fuel. That will, he says, if I could control my mouse, that engine's spooling up. So that is introducing fuel to the engine, which means we can start it. And once you just do that for all of them, it's fairly simple. Not that I'm downplaying the complexity of this aircraft. This will spool up to around 45-ish, I think, and then we'll do it for the rest. So that's, sorry, it's 24. Don't know where I got 45 from. Go to number 3, hit start, get that lovely little pingy noise. Again, we're waiting for this to go up to 10. And we'll let that start up and put in the fuel. So that's that engine coming up as well. You see it there, stabilising. You can hear it out the back here. Lovely. So this is a bit more rustic than your standard Airbus, which is good. If you want to learn how to fly this airplane, then you probably can fly most things within 2024 or 2020. Hit start again. Same protocol, guys. Come down here. Just looking for this to get past 10. Which it is. Introduce fuel. Also just going to brighten up some of these panels, because it's going to get dark as we head towards Glasgow. Has this got anything on it needs? Yeah, we'll do that in a second. So that one's kicking in as well. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Ooh. Power and light. There we go. Okay, and then last one, come up here. Hit start. I love that noise. Introduce fuel. And that's it. Once those are all started up, we're all good. So we'll just let that one kick into where it needs to get to. Pretty sure I tried to fly this on stream once before and it didn't end massively well, so. But we have great faith, SimScotters, that this is going to be okay. Excellent, so that's all spooled up and is where it needs to be. So once the engines are started, let's put this to off. And master switch can come to off, so start power goes off. We're not expecting any icing, so let's turn off the ice protection. And on here, you want to do Gen 1 on, Gen 4 on. Want to brake fans to auto, which are here. and then the hydraulic pumps for engine 1 and 2 go on, and on you can see the pressure coming up. AC pump goes to auto. This is where it gets very confusing. And the PTU comes on. Lovely. Ice protection down here. Let's get these all on. If we had animals, I don't think we have animals, but if you do have animals on your flight, or you want to pretend you've got animals, down here, animal bay heat, you can turn it on. Lovely. So, come back up here, APR comes back on, and both patch switches can come on. And we can also go TARA on our transponder. So we were at flaps 24, weren't we? So that's 2 stages of flaps. These flaps are huge. It's designed to get into very short, steep, well, short runways, steep approaches, steep departures. Look at the size of those. You can see how much more wingspan it gives your wing width. Cool, so those are in place. Let's just check what we are tuned to radio-wise. 122.8 would probably be a good idea. So that's Unicom. There's no air traffic control around at the moment, so we can just taxi out to the runway. You want to get your taxi lights on, they're up here. It's a bit strange, so if you flick them up the way, you get landing lights. If you flick them down the way, you get taxi lights. Now, if you want to also make sure that your trim is correct, you can kind of cheat a little bit by just clicking on that and it sits in place, which I think is probably this, I think, but I never really managed to get it to do what I wanted to. So, take off the brakes, we should start rolling gently. What we can do, just while we're taxiing, hit the config check, no horns, excellent news. If you get a horn there, bad news. You need to go back and figure out what's going on. So we'll taxi out to the runway, which is 27. Not too long a taxi to get out here. Also, while you're taxiing out, you have to be a proper pilot and
cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
talk to the cabin crew. Arm the auto throttle.
Cabin is secured.
Lovely, thank you very much. So, take off in this, everything happens very quickly, as you'd imagine, because it's not that automated. So what we'll do is, just to save a bit of time, we'll put the strobe lights on now. Look at this, what an airplane. It's awesome. Interested what people think about 2024 versus 2020 as well. Always interested, do comment in the comments bit of YouTube. We'll have a little debate if we need to. we'll just briefly take off once we get to the end of the runway. Just have to watch actually. Just want to check. Max 200 knots. 200, 200, 200. Right, okay, go. I'm actually going to put that in here. That'll be helpful. There. So 200 knots is what we are, what our limit is on our speed as we get out of here towards Woodland Park. So what's going to happen, guys, is let's just set up parking brake, have a little chat about this before we unleash this regional jet into the sky. What we're going to do is, as we get onto the runway, we're just going to advance the throttles. That's going to bring the engines up. We will then hit Toga, which is cheekily this button here. It's a little screw head. So we're going to do that. That will then accelerate up to our Toga speed, which we set earlier on, which is this 92.4%. So max, as we said. Then going to climb out. We'll get a go call from our co-pilot, and then we will climb away. And we will engage LNAV mode, which is here, and the autopilot as we get through about 500 to 1,000 feet, and then we will climb out at about 200 knots through level change up to 3,000. We'll bring the flaps up as we go, and then we'll move to our normal climbing speed. It's all going to happen quite quickly, but hopefully it's useful to see these sort of things and see how they work. Let me just check that nobody is coming in. No, I think we're good. Yeah, okay, cool. London City traffic, Speedbird 185, taking off runway 27, Brooklands Park 1 Alpha. Nope, little call on VATSIM. Probably got the cabin crew telling us what's going on in the back. That's all good. So, hold on the brakes. Accelerate up. And then click on said screw.
Check thrust.
Get up to Toga, hold on the brakes.
Thrust set.
Thrust set, let the brakes go. Airspeed's alive. Oh, we did that together, lovely. Thundering down said runway.
80 knots.
Not a lot of wind there on that windsock. Airplane wants to take off.
Go. Rotate.
Rotate away.
Positive climb. Gear up side.
Gear comes. Up. Lovely. Keep nose dipped a little bit into the fog. Hello. A little bit turbulent. Bring up one stage of flats.
Don't sink.
Yeah, yeah. So we're just following the flight director. It's pretty choppy to be fair. Autopilot gauge, LNAV, and level change.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Nope, bring the flaps up. Toss up through the clouds. Gears come up. So that's us at 3,000 feet. See how quickly that all happens. It's a lot, right? And we're just following the departure, as you can see down here. After departure, we are going to keep it 200 knots. You can see we overshot a little bit there. Keep it 200 knots. Move to climb. And that's our climb thrust. That just helps reduce the wear and tear. Also put our engine switches to north here. Engine air comes on, and we can switch off APU air. Lovely. So we're just following our departure here.
The traffic domestic 6 does that CAPELLIX for the ILS 250.
That's us heading towards Brookwood Park. Have a little look around, see if there's anyone near us. Which I don't think there is. So we're going to move this up to 24. Which is there. Level change can come on. And that will climb us away. And we want to go at 250 knots now. Windshield loading. And because it's quite loud, I'm going to turn it down a little bit as well. Beautiful. And that's us climbing away from London City, so that's how you depart this cheeky, much a handful aircraft. What we'll also do is shut down the APU, so it's to stop. We can release the cabin crew. And let's check sort of through 10,000 feet. Noisy as well when you get out of this, but it's nicer in the back here. That's us on our way to Glasgow. With the heading belt just lined up. What you also have, so this is slightly different to if you had the previous version of this, which I think is the AU146. So it tells you where your top of climb is, and this also has a top and descent calculator, so it makes it a lot more friendly to use on that side. Sim. Looks great. Still getting quite a few stutters in 2024. I'm running it at ultra, but no, Scottish ATC have gone off as well. It's just you and viewers then. That's what we are. We'll do is put some festive music for you guys as we climb out.
Doesn't traffic domestic 6 that's how long is the ILS?
Wowzers. Well, it's Christmas. Well, it was Christmas. what's happening on my Twitch side of things.
Okay, so traffic right on there, 27 drastic or taking to one until 10. So the traffic going to the Exhibition Delta on to the Big
That's the traffic lining up runway 22. Now lining up, not departing due to traffic on the runway after departure climbing control greater than 0. Proceeding west on the departure Salama, November 2.
Traffic running 1 November, Mike, established file 229 miles.
Well, I kind of up dead away through 10,000 feet. Lights can come off. It's a cheeky little click spot here. This is standard, which is nice.
Sounds with traffic now, departing runway 22.
And we can switch off the P2, but leave the AC pump on, so P2 comes off. And then we can increase our climb speed to about 280 knots, which is the climb in the RJ100. So nose will go down slightly. And we'll blast out here.
Traffic now airborne, passing 300 feet.
See our progress here. Funky beats in here.
Sound traffic running 1 November, Mike, we're 2 miles for 2.
So, continue our climb, guys. Let's turn on the fast seatbelt signs. One thing you can do as well, if your climb rate gets below 1,000 feet, so about 1,200, you can flip this into max climb and it will climb it up. much more powerful rate, but it wears the engines out, so not always something you want to try. These little hair dryers, beautiful. Still climbing above 1,000 feet. Thank you. There's a bit of clouds coming up ahead of us. Nothing on TCAS at the moment. This is pretty much how we get along. Let's just set some things up here while we are in the cloud. So, let's just do legs. Let's just that one. Set it a bit. As well. Taxi. Parking stands. That. Like that. Nice. So, still using level change, getting close to 24,000 feet. All is well in the RJ100, guys. But before long, we'll then be descending. You can also get a few charts in here. Do VFR. Just a low map, yeah. Maybe they don't work as well in 2024. Wow. Ooh. Oh, no, thank you. can see our descent rate, climb rate, only 800 feet now. So we could, if we wanted to, blast in the max climb. Still using level change to get on there. So 1,000 feet to go. You see that the rate of climb sort of goes up. It doesn't have a massive impact, but it does help if you are struggling a little bit. Turn this back to normal climb. Wowzers, some of this electro music. Kind of Christmassy, I guess. Yes. Anyway, what's the weather doing in Glasgow? Scattered at 2,600, broken at 3,200, 230 at 18 knots, so it's pretty windy. Otherwise, it should be all good. Good though at the moment, guys. Hopefully we're getting a bit out of this, understanding how this airplane works. And yeah, hope everyone had a good Christmas. In the cruise, not lots to do really in the Avro, but there are a couple of things you can get yourself set up for. So we know we're coming into runway 23, nice approach over the hills. Course is 228, which you want to set here. And again here. And then you want to get your nav radio set up, so 110.1. Flip-flop that. 110.1. Flip-flop that. Nice. So that just takes away a bit of thinking. And make sure it's on whenever you do, guys. Put that to on and put that to on. The number of times I've tried to intercept an ILS in this airplane, and I'm like, what is going on? And it is just forgetting that side of things. It's really, really easy to do. Don't ask how I know. I have done it plenty of times. Anyway, so as I said, this airplane is slightly more modern than other EA146s that we've flown. So it's got 2 top of descent in here. 63 miles, 3:15 to the town, which is about 10 minutes from now. You can also see it, if you so wish, on your EFIS. So you got top of descent here, which is coming into Ribble, which if we do that, here's Rebel here. It's ASLab. What ASLab? 260. We're already below that, so that's fine. And then we've got Odigi at flight level 240. Is that right? Yeah. So hold on, let's go to the next page and just check it's all set up correctly. Ribble is here. It's interesting, right? Oh no, there's a diggy. Why would that be so low? Let's move you up to there. Because it's flight level 200 for Odigi, not 3,000 feet at Aslam. That would be bad, bad news. So I think we do Ribble. I think we just do that. Let's see what happens here. This is going to completely ruin it. There we go, flight level 2240. Odigi is only flight level 200. That's interesting. Always good to check these things before we crash headfirst into the ground. Flight level 200. Lanik, I want to be at 7,000. Execute that. What if we could do flight level 070? Ooh, that did not do anything. And that's because the transition level I think is slightly less. Fine. And then we can self-vector from there. So that should then change, yeah. Top of the descent's moved out, right? Good. That's what I was expecting. Cool. Now we just relax, guys, and hope nothing goes wrong. This is very festive music, isn't it? Lovely, guys. It's starting to get a little bit foggy though up here. Foggy, cloudy, one of the two. Right. All good. I'm making an advert for British Airways here with this really cheesy background music. Beautiful though, look at this. What an airplane. It is very cool. It looks alright as well with the clouds going over the top of it. Wow.
This is 110, this is Golf Zero Hotel. If you could just let me know when you are established, and then I will sort myself out behind you, correct?
Sort yourself out, mate. Why not? See a contrail of an airplane going below us. Siggy Mickey! Welcome to my Christmas stream. Bit late. Welcome. Great news on getting 2024, mate. How are you finding it? Has it crashed is the question, because that's normally what happens to everyone, but I hope you had a good Christmas too, mate. Hopefully it was a good time. And let me know what you think of 2024. Some of these clouds don't look amazing, right? They look very much like 2020, the sort of volcanic clouds that we were used to in that simulator. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I agree. I haven't played 2020 since I've got this, actually. I'm trying to stick with it, but yeah, I think it's a good simulator, right? I know a lot of people had problems, but some of the lighting, look at that! It's pretty cool. I love this cloud effect as well, just as it glides by. Just going on the cockpit on the pilot side. See that contrail there? Just stay out of the way up here. Ah, you're flying to Manchester. Are you on Pat Sim, Ziggy Mickey, or are you just trying it out yourself at the moment? I'd recommend getting this aircraft because it is awesome. Ah, nice one. Is that the default A330? Very cool. Nice work. Oh yeah, sweet. How are you finding it? Is it behaving itself? That's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Ziggy Mickey. You need to try career mode, see if you can get a better outcome than I did in my one. Christmas music, eh? Very dramatic. Anyway, coming up on the Scottish border. You don't go anywhere fast in this aircraft, that sort of thing to realise. Everything just sort of goes at its own pace. If you're in a hurry, this is not the aircraft for you. Sometimes 2024 does look just a little bit better than 2023. Sorry, 2020. It's a few hours since I downloaded 2020. festive, everyone. Very festive. No more show on. There's more Christmas stuff coming. It's going quite well. Gosh. Anyway, we're just coming up at the start of the star itself, the River 1 Golf, which you can see up here. So we cross-checked this and made some updates in our flight computer because all the heights were slightly out. But now we're all good and they've been cross-checked. Don't think there's any speed requirements. Maximum 250 at Bappy, which we'll control there. It is indeed flight level 240. It's had a couple of updates since it came out, so if you've got it, I would definitely download it from Justflight because it's working pretty well. Right, as much as I love a bit of rock music, let's go back to more of this. So yeah, flight level 240, it has definitely been updated. It's weird, not a lot of people have streamed it. There's been a few people. If you're on Twitch, you've definitely seen some people. Flight level 1, okay, Vappy's 250, 230 knots, 171, yeah. Cool. So, in preparation for our descent, we've done the ASUS. Decision height, if you want to put that in, is, he says, bear with him, I find it. Let me just find it, bear with. Take the DH knob. Oh, so yeah. Decision height comes up there. Oh, it's about 150 feet. I know there's strictly better ways to do this, but yeah, do it flight mode. It's really good actually. I'm pretty impressed with it. It used to crash into the ground, which was not such a good feature, but they've updated it, so it's definitely there. And we'll talk you through how to do descents in this, because although it's got a top of descent, you still have to control it manually. So that is quite important. And they're still being treated to a beautiful sunset as we come into Scotland. It's definitely going to be windy. Otherwise, everything is going well in the RJ100. So you can see top of descent is coming up soon. So you can do it there, and you can see here it's in about 50 miles, which is, that's our 40-mile ring, and so you can see about 10 on from it. What we'll do, guys, is our first altitude restriction is Odigi at flight level 200. So we get that set up there, and when we reach top of descent, we will work through how we're going to manage that descent. Excellent. What an aircraft this is, though. Welcome to the chat. If you're here and it's your first time, super welcome. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday, and who knows what day of the week it really is, because it's that weird bit between Christmas and New Year. It is Sunday, but most people aren't working tomorrow, aren't in school. We're just bobbing around at flight level 240. It's no air traffic control on at the moment, and we are just crossing the border in Scotland at the moment. Make sure that you give it a little like, a little subscribe if you have not already. We've got quite a few members. We're up to 164, which is amazing. I never thought we'd get anywhere near that when I started this channel. So big thank you if you're watching this back, if you're watching it on repeat. Excellent. Big fan of all of your works. See nothing on TCAS at the moment. Pretty quiet. So we're going to talk through descent as we go through it, so that'll be important if you are going to go through that. This power unit again becomes important. It sets now what our landing speed is going to be, and we will talk through that as we get nearer to the ground. We're going to use this listing down here. So you can see, basically go from landing at 188 knots right down to 123. We'll probably go like flaps 30 and go at 128 knots. You need to be aware if you're doing a flight in this on VATSIM, hopefully the controllers will be aware. But obviously you'll be slightly slower than the average airplane that is whizzing through the skies. So we're getting your top descent. I say this aircraft will not do it for you. So there's two ways to descend. I'm sure there's more, but the two that I would recommend: level change, which will mean you descend maintaining your speed, or you can do vertical speed using this knob here. We are going to use a mixture of them, and I'll show you why once we descend. I also want to find a parking space as well. Oh, that's where it did. What did I do? Oh. Parking stands. Maybe we can set any of these right. We'll figure that out when we get here. Okay, so top of descent is approaching us. And we know that we need to be at Odigi by flight level 200, so as we descend we want to see that green arc basically hit Odigi. And then when we get past Odigi we need to get down to 7,000 feet, flight level 70 by Atlantic. So we're going to have to do multiple things, just controlling our speed, the inertia, the energy of the aircraft. There's a number of tools we've got through that. So once we have flaps, we've got the speed brake that we can go out, which provides a ton of drag. So there's quite a few options we have, so don't worry if you think you're going to overshoot. There's plenty of ways to get yourself out of trouble in this aircraft. And as I said, we've already set up the course for the approach, so 228, 228, 110.1. So, getting near top of descent now, we are 7 miles away. We'll start with level change, we'll see what that does. 6 miles, why don't we just do it now? So, airplane dips its nose, there's our green bar. See where that settles, so initially it'll be quite close. And then it's, you can see it sort of pushing out a little bit, which is fine. We maintain our 280 knots, we'll get down to a DD well before it at flight level 200. So, descent checklist, we now switch back on the PTU. Set our approach speeds, which we talked about before, so we're going to go flap. Flight simulator, don't do that to me, it makes me sick. We'll have flaps 30 landing, so 128. There's the 128 in there, so that's all good. So we just click that. Again, if you want to change it, you can do by clicking on these. 128 flap 30 is what we're going to look for. And then we're basically waiting for our next speed restriction. A little bit choppy. That's all good. So I'm now concerned about Lanik. I want to get down there by 7,000 feet, but we have to go over Odigi first at flight level 200, because that's part of our restriction. So we have to, because it's got the double lines, flight level 200 is what we need. Nice one. So Odigi is coming up in about, if you look down here you can see it, 3.7, 3.6, 3.5. Our next constraint is going to be 7,000 feet. I'll show you what happens if you use vertical speed rather than and just what the pitfalls are rather than flight level change. So about 0.7, 0.6, let's just do level change again. And again what you're looking for is this green arc. Beautiful. So that's coming in towards Lanik. Now, at Lanik, we have to be 230 knots. Don't forget that, because this is descending at the moment at 280 knots. Now, if you want to get rid of that sort of, well, you can do it two ways. You can slow down, and that will slow down your rate of descent. The other way that you can do this is go into vertical speed mode. And you can sort of play around with where you want that green line to go. So we want it to be a bit closer to Lanik, we reduce our rate of descent. You'll see that goes out the way, just some touching Lanik. But again, that's still at 280 knots, so just be aware that you will at some point need to slow down to 230 knots. At the moment that's looking good. We're still going to achieve landing at flight level 070. We just need to make sure we slow down in time for it. So you can see we coming quite a bit before it actually, so we can again slow down our rate of descent and that will push that out. And actually the slower your rate of descent here, the easier it will be to lead off our speed to get down to 230 knots. If this is going at quite a high descent rate, then it's much harder to chop off speed. And probably when we get to about VAPI, we'll start to, we can see max 250 at VAPI anyway, so start to slow ourselves down. Now, watch your speed here, because if you're in vertical speed mode, it will aim to target this value here, minus 1,900 feet. Doesn't really care what speed you're going at, it will always, you can see here, it is always going to target that 1900. Now, if you want the airplane to just descend at 250 knots, hit level change, the nose will come up, and it will pitch for 250 knots. You can see our green arc has completely disappeared now. And so what can be useful here is a bit of speed brake, which in this airplane are these massive drag buckets at the back. But you'll see it gets down to 250 knots quite quickly. Take them out again, you can see now our green arc completely comes back in again. So one of your friends in this aircraft is that speed brake. You've got to watch when you pull out, so you can see that I basically kept them in too long. The aircraft spooled up its engines, and so now it's trying to get back to 250 knots, and it's trying to do that through level change. At the moment my green arc isn't here because we're actually descending at 500 feet wide turn. Now it's hitting the 250, it starts to lower the nose to maintain the 250, and you can see we're still at this speed. Going to hit Lannick before 7,000. So this is trying to get down to flight level 70 or 7,000 feet by using this speed here, and that's all it's trying to do, and it will adjust its pitch to always maintain 250 knots. And that's why if you put the speed brake in, it will slow you down, but it will pitch the nose down to maintain the 250 knots. So in essence you can have a lot more drag and still maintain the 250 knots by putting the nose down, and that's what it's trying to do at the moment. Oh, it's all very educational, guys. Anyway, we're getting near 10,000 feet, so let's put the seatbelt signs. Oh, they're already on. Excellent. Put the landing lights on. Lovely. What is the weather like in Glasgow? So we've got QNH 1018, 230 at 18 knots. It's still windy, but we'll put the QNH in anyway. 1018. Strictly, that's a bit of a shortcut. There's no one else around me on VATSIM, I can see that. So I'm kind of happy with that. Although, interestingly, there is someone who is coming across from Belfast. So we want to get back down to 230 knots, so you can see the nose is going up. We're still trying to get down to our flight level 70. So we're going to put the speed brake up. And that's going to help me capture 230, but also get me down to my my 7,000 feet at Lannick. Do you sort of bob around as it tries to find the speed?
Eddie Pacific, trying to 775 crossing runway takeoff.
So is it going to make 7,000? It's sort of settled at 230, which is our speed here. and you can see that our green arc is going to hit there before landing, which is good news, everyone. That's kind of what we wanted to do.
For traffic Golf is now coming across with bridge and holding there, mechanic.
So, as we get towards Lanark, in about 5 miles, we'll vector ourselves runway 23. And we'll just continue our descent to 3,000 feet. You can see the green arcs going out a little bit more, but we still hit 7,000 at the right level.
I'll extend the downwind to an hour to IFR arrival.
So, take ourselves on a heading now. Turn on the APU. Lovely. So I go quiet because I'm like trying to concentrate, but we'll go at 230 knots and we're just giving ourselves a bit more of an angle to work with to get us lined up on the runway. G28 110.1 10.1 228 that's all cool. You do have to watch in Glasgow because this is high ground, but at 3,000 feet we should be okay. He says as we go into cloud. It's very dark. So you can see that iOS is alive, which is good. So evening though in Scotland. Cool. So that's the engine just spooling up to maintain the 230 knots. I kind of want to make that a bit dimmer, but it doesn't seem to want to do it, which is fine. Oh, there it is. It suddenly kicked in. Great. Right, let's slow ourselves down for the turn. Getting set. Quite like to see a bit more, please. So we're just self-vectoring ourselves to final runway 23. So APU started, so we turn on APU and we turn off all the engineers. Then a bing.
Speed checked. Flaps 80.
Then flaps down. And then we're doing a flap 30 landing gear.
Speed checked. Gear down.
So I'm not going to put the gear down just yet because I'll find out what we'll do in a second.
Cabin 360 flat.
That's Cabin Crew 6 for landing.
Cabin is secured.
So we can set ourselves up for a bit of an intercept heading here on the final fix. God, it's a bit dark, isn't it, outside the neck? If you want to know how far you are from the runway, this is your DME here, 13.8. This bit here is your distance to your approach fix. So if you want to give a call on how close you are or how not you are to the runway, use these figures on the left hand side here. Light, and we'll arm VOR work in a second. That should capture as the iOS comes in horizontally.
Edinburgh traffic runner 814, we're becoming established on the localizer approach runway 06, circling 24 Edinburgh traffic.
See the runway in the distance over there. It's all going a little too smoothly, something will go wrong. You can see this high ground that we're talking about here. Where should we park? Let's do stand. 112, SU12.
Localizer allowed.
Localizer alive. Good, this guy tells you everything you need to know. You can also see the vertical
Light zoom allowed.
light zoom's in there.
Edinburgh traffic runner 814, we're established on
Lights on.
localizer 06, 10 miles out for circling runway 24.
That's light zoom captured. Excellent. Glasgow traffic, speed 185 is on a 9 mile final, runway 23. You can see the crosswind that we are currently fighting. It's nice up onto runway 230. So, all lined up, gear down now. Start to slow ourselves down to about 160 knots.
Speed checked. Flaps 24.
Exit your flaps. Those massive flaps flipping out. So we're just following the iOS at the moment. We're going for our flaps 30 landing. Not loving this crossword, but cool. Just had a subscription. Lovely stuff. Ah, thanks Taylor. Welcome, welcome, welcome if this is your first time. Just hurtling towards the ground, Taylor, that's what we're doing. Hope you're doing well. As we get ourselves, hopefully, landed safely at Glasgow.
1,000.
1,000. Yay. Go flaps 30. Do your first flight, Taylor, mate. Only way to get involved is just to roll yourself in. Okay, we're gonna cancel the autopilot and we'll do auto throttle, so we're controlling that. It's quite windy. But we're hand flying this, and so far so good. Getting a bit below the iOS glide slope. I haven't, Taylor. Is that for Vatson? Probably been a member for a wee while now, so I don't think they had it when I had to join.
$500.
Well, 500, no, we're a bit high. So, we're just wrestling this down. We're a bit fast, to be honest. So we'll cut down some of our speed. I got you, Taylor. Are you struggling with it, or how are you finding it?
Glide slope.
Glide slope.
100.
A little bit below glide, but it's alright. Why have you put the air brakes on, my friend?
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, float. Massive float, but that's okay. We got loads of room.
Ground guide.
Nice.
Spoilers, yellow, green. Brake pressure checked.
Very nice. Ah, nice
60
work,
knots.
Taylor. You'll be a pro then. You can get on here and fly, mate. you flown on VATSIM before, or are you, is this sort of one of the first times you would do it? Got our flaps up. Welcome to Glasgow, everyone. APU's already started up. Just do some quick shutdown checks here, which is auto throttle can come off, turn off the flight directors, can go to taxi lights, can turn off our strobes, and we can make our way to our gate, which I think we chose. What did we choose in the end? AM is an early time to be doing that, Taylor. Couldn't sleep. Gate 21. Yeah, there should be this one on the end here, I think. Oh no, hold on, we've gone too far. Let's spin around. No one will ever know that we missed our gate. Will, Taylor. Why would you be in a Cessna? Is that the is that because you have to do that to get the ratings or whatever it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator? 21, here we go. On my gateway. That was lucky. Here we are, gate 21. I'd like to turn off some of these static aircraft at some point, but anyway, all good. Nice one. Right guys, look at that. We sort of made it in one piece, I think. Too far, who cares? So, that's on the gate. Let's get the taxi lights off. Off. Parking brake on. Let's get the passengers out of here. Quite like you guys not to spool up. There we go.
Cabin crew, doors to manual and cross check.
Go. And then we can request deboarding. That is true, Taylor. That'd be a bit too much excitement.
Glasgow traffic, Golf Delta Romeo established 9 miles finals for runway 23, Glasgow.
Nav can come off. Lovely guys. Welcome to Glasgow. Get ourselves deboarded. So that is the RJ100. Easy to fly, right? Easy stuff. Hopefully this has been super useful. And if you are interested in flying the RJ100, do it back. I'm sure I probably made some mistakes, but that's based on the manual that Justflight give you. And so hopefully it gives you a bit of a starting point to do a decent little flight. It's not too tricky, you're just going to be ahead of the aircraft at times, but otherwise I'm sure you guys will absolutely nail it. It doesn't take a lot, but yeah. Why does the EasyJet have a yellow light under it? That's a very good question, Taylor. I think this is static, so this is the coming from this truck here. I don't know how to turn off my static aircraft, which is a little bit annoying. Because this is I think it's Pyrig who put this scenery together, but in 2024 it's a little bit more tricky to turn it off. Before I used to be able to do it, but then still getting used to 2024. It's an interesting place. But yeah, you on 2024, Taylor? Or are you 2020 still? GSX is mucked up here. This guy's wheels are spinning. Out of control as usual, 2024. Out of control. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it there. That's great fun. Taylor, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. There is a Discord that you can join. If you go, I don't know, Taylor, if you got YouTube, jump on there, or it might be in the description under the stream that you're watching at the moment. It should be an invite, but if you can't find it, just go on YouTube and search for SimScott185. That'll get you in there. If you've got any questions as you go through your flight sim journey, feel free to ask. Hope everyone has a very good rest of their Sunday, and if you're watching this back, do subscribe, and we'll do this again soon, maybe one before the new year. Alright guys, have a fantastic rest of the day and enjoy your flight sim adventures. Cheers.
Easy 6 Charlie climbing to flight 93.